The maiden's tears turned into pearls of great value, and men, in their greed for money, made love to her. But none of these greedy men lived to see the next day, for the girl was bound by a deadly curse. If anyone falls in love with her, their hearts will beat wildly, until it stops. But fate has a way of playing jokes. A bachelor at the end of his rope, and by chance he became the exception in a girl's life. A man named Mike. He was walking around like he always did, but the next moment he turned around. There was a mermaid lying on the shore. Mike was in a state of panic, but the gentleman didn't think twice about it. He puts on the girl's coat. He leaned in to listen to the almost imperceptible breath. Mike felt a sense of responsibility in his heart, because he knew that if he left at that moment, the girl would die. Then Mike headed for the hospital. But the mermaid's weight was a surprise to him. Faced with no choice, Mike had no choice but to stop a cab. When the driver saw the unconscious girl, he was afraid of getting into trouble. He immediately refused. Mike had to stop another cab, but again, he was refused. In order to quickly take the girl to the hospital, Mike bought a tricycle. He drove to the hospital's registration desk. The doctor saw this unusual patient. Although he was surprised, the doctor didn't think much about it, so he began his examination. But in the nick of time, the mermaid awoke from a dream. She saw a strange man approaching. She instinctively sang the song of death. Her voice was like a trickle of water, and like the voice of a fairy. The man's heart was moved by it, and the smile on his face turned into an obsession, as if he had fallen into a state of seduction. For a while, he lost his cool and self-control. However, this short-lived pleasure was like a shooting star. Soon he felt a pain in his chest. The doctor staggered into the hospital for help, but moments later, the doctor collapsed on the floor. At the same time, because he couldn't provide the patient's ID, Mike was turned away by the receptionist. Faced with a sudden dilemma, Mike carried the mermaid back to his place. But what he didn't realize, the landlord next door was secretly watching. Back in his room, Mike gently carried the mermaid into the bathtub. Then he carefully put a t-shirt on her, and gently doused her with fresh water, in an attempt to awaken the sleeping mermaid. When the girl slowly opened her eyes, she was in a strange environment, and a man of unknown evil. She was horrified, and began to sing the song of death. But surprisingly, Mike was not affected by the song. Instead, he mistook it for a sign of affection.